crazy. I'm sorry, everyone. It took us a little while to figure out the split screen and getting live, but I'm Cristy with Los Tweens and Teens, and there's our lovely resident parenting expert, Lina Acosta Sandaal. Hi, Lina.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here, and we're making technology happen.
I'm telling you, wow. So we had to sign up for Be Live and all this kind of stuff because it was important for us to definitely have this conversation with everyone today. So, hi, Rachel. We wanted to make this happen, and we wanted to make it happen on Facebook and not necessarily Instagram, because we want to make sure that we're having our conversation with parents, and most of you are on our Facebook platform. So we definitely wanted to do that. Hi, Michelle. We definitely wanted to host it here on Facebook because it's definitely a conversation for parents. All of us have teenagers at home, and Lina, our parenting expert, was actually on Telemundo this morning. But really talking about younger kids, and we haven't really talked about older kids because most of us think, oh, they're older, they're fine, they don't need our attention. But a lot of parents are actually driving their teenagers crazy,
Crazy,
right?
crazy,
So
crazy.
great. They're
Knock
going
it off.
loco. Yeah. So we wanted to have this conversation to help parents with older kids at home, maybe not be driving them so crazy. And what's really funny is that if you look at the TikTok videos, which is what Lina and I were talking about this morning, right? So there's actually the hashtag trending on TikTok, which is parents just don't understand.
And
And
I'm
that's a
addicted to it.
sign.
I'm addicted to it.
And what?
I'm addicted to it. I love
I know.
when the kids say the best things, and they're right most of the time.
Exactly, exactly. So that's the reason we wanted to have this conversation. We definitely want to just be talking like some tips, some tricks. And then Lina's actually going to be doing a really cool video idea where we're going to talk to actual teens and get their insights about what their parents are doing to them or making them feel. So, with that, I'll tell you a little bit. Can everybody hear us okay? Just Michelle, let us know if you guys can hear us okay. They'll tell us. They should be hearing us okay. All right. So, part of what's going on in my house is a lot of sadness, right? High school seniors. We just heard this morning that their grad bash is canceled. So it's sad. You know, a lot of things that they were waiting for it aren't going to happen. So I've been trying to give them like new projects, maybe try this, try that. But I think I may be driving them a little bit crazy. They miss their friends, they miss their social circles. And some kids actually said to each other yesterday, what if we never even get to say goodbye for summer, right? Like, what if we don't go back and we can't even say bye for summer? So, Lina, tell us what you're hearing. I know that a lot of parents are checking in with you. For older kids, tell us what you're hearing. And then we'll get into this conversation about tips, tricks. So maybe they start doing some less funny TikTok videos.
So the first thing that I'm hearing from actual teens is this idea that their parents are telling them that it's not a big deal that they don't see their friends, that it's not a big deal that they may not have prom, that they
Right.
should be grateful that they're not sick, that they're home, and that they have food on the table, and the kind of stuff that. And I love parents, but it's the kind of stuff that we say when we're overwhelmed, when we're
Right.
anxious, when we're stressed, and our teen has a pouty face. And please stop. It Most of the kids started high school, and they've been thinking about grad batch, and they've been thinking about prom, and they've been
Right.
thinking about their graduation, that you guys have been telling them that that's what they had to get to. So
Mm-hmm.
right now in the middle of this, I know that you're stressed, I know that you're scared, I know that you're anxious, but please, when somebody tells you how they feel, you don't get to tell them that they're wrong. The
Absolutely.
appropriate response is to say, "You're right, buddy. This is like nothing that has ever happened in recent history." With my own teen, I have a 14-year-old. I looked at her, and she said, "There's rumors that we're not going to get back to school." And the one thing that I have been sharing with my teen at home, and I've been sharing with parents of teens, is that to make your teen aware first, empathize with them and mirror their pain. But second, let them know that this is like the kind of stuff that we read about in history, right? This is like
Right.
the Great Depression. This is like World War II. We are currently living history, and we have to
Yeah,
let
they're going
them
to
know.
refer to it. They're going to refer to this in books.
Yes, we're going to refer to this in books in the future, and it is so important for, so I think the big thing is for all of you parents minimizing their emotions, because I know they don't do emotions cute like the little tiny 3-year old, although the 3-year old parent will tell you it's not cute. uh,
Right.
they pout and they get quiet and they walk away. And at this time, please allow them to do that. Allow them their space. Say your 3 things. Tell them, today, those that found out that grad bash is canceled, please look at them and say, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry that this is happening.
Right.
And it's like nothing we've ever done before.
Right.
And mind your stress. And let me say something that I've been saying to all parents before I forget. Um, and it's, you, your family right now is like an aquarium. And you, the caregivers, the parents, the people in charge, you are the water. Your children are the fish.
Hmm.
So be mindful what their water is like, right?
It's true.
Be mindful that it's not getting murky and dirty. And if it is, clean it up.
Hmm. That's interesting. And it's Michelle's point there. It says, hard to say that they are right. I literally said to my girls, you are 100% right that this sucks. And I'm disappointed too. And I was trying to, like you're saying, since they were little, it's been telling them, I can't wait for your graduation. We're planning for this. Many of them are planning their colleges, right? Well, usually there's a graduation before there's a college. So yeah. And I was trying to not be rosy about it, but maybe not continuously say, wow, yeah, that really sucks. And it sucks and it's disappointing because I didn't want to make it worse. But I see what you're saying, not owning up to the fact that it sucks and trying to sugarcoat it isn't going to get us anywhere either.
Because when we don't feel mirrored, when we don't feel understood, when we, it's the truth. It is
Right.
so important to honor them. Kids 13 and up need to be honored with the truth. You don't and please stop asking them not to feel. And I
Right.
know why you're doing it. I know, because when they pout, when they're upset, different teens have different responses. Some of them get sassy and sarcastic, and it's really hard to look at
Right.
them and go, buddy, I know this is a really hard time when they're being sassy and sarcastic, but look behind the sarcasm. And some
Right.
of them get very, very quiet, and they cocoon, and you get scared because you're imagining 100 things, but just love on them, right? And then there's the other one that won't stop talking. It's like "Daga, daga, 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 daga," jibber jabber jibber jabber jibber jibber jabber, and only sharing with you what they're upset about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that have that talkative teen that only shares what they're upset about with you, it's because you have a good relationship with them, and you're the
Right.
person that they dump on, right? So most of the time, just look at them and say, I'm sad too, and I'm sad for you, and I am so sorry that this is happening. And you
Yeah.
will see that they will shift and they will change.
Right. What about those teens that are in their room and not talking to you? And they're just like literally don't talk to me, leave me alone. And you're trying, to get them to talk more. Is that a point of let them be, give them their space? Like how do we help some, and that could be a sign of anxiety, right? They're so frustrated. How do we help them through that component?
Predict that you're going to check in with them. Let them know, hey, I know you've been in here, and I'm going to be that obnoxious parent, and I'm going to come in here and check in on you, at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to say, how's your body? How are your feelings? did you reach out to friends?
So almost schedule it,
Um,
like as if they went to
so
school and came
schedule it,
back.
right? Correct. And because we all don't have the car ride confessional anymore, which is like the excellent time for teens. None of us have it anymore. We lost it, right?
Right.
And also, you know, try to eat at least one meal together. Um, and if and you talk and you share what you are feeling, and then say to them, you know, what's been going on for you. And if they go, I don't know, you can don't say just don't say this. You know, if you don't say what you're saying, what you mean, and how you're feeling, then how can I possibly understand what's going on for you? Ed,
Which looks like a TikTok video.
I should be on TikTok. Instead, say, look, this is hard for all of us. It makes me scared when you don't tell me at least one thing that you're thinking and feeling. And I'm sure that what I'm making up in my head that you're thinking and feeling is worse than what's actually happening. So can you throw me a bone? Again, truth, be honest, stop controlling them.
Right.
Stop it, stop it, stop it. All of you feel out of control and uncertainty. Not all of you, all of us. The entire earth right now
Right.
feels a great, deep sense of uncertainty. And that's why a lot of parents are making the mistake of thinking that they can, you know, controlling the one thing that you all fantasize that you can control, which is your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fantasy. Control is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And but you're doing it extra. You're doing it more because of the uncertainty that you're feeling. So most of the time, you know, leave them alone. And set up a time where either you're eating together or you're predicting for them that you're going to sit and check in with them. And another thing that you can do is, you know, everybody's watching a lot of TVs, so tell them, hey, let's watch a show together. I say this every time we have a live. Use popular culture to get into conversations.
Right.
Use a third party, right? And for those that are like stuck in their room, you know, like I had a moment with my daughter, which she just kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, look, tell your friends and your friends' parents that the psychotherapy lady, mama, that your mama wants you to set up at least 2 hours of social interaction with your friends. So, do you want a Zoom room? I'm going to get you a Zoom room because I want you to interact with your friends. Parents, please, 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 please protect their social time.
Right.
Remind them to reach out to friends. Let them FaceTime. Let them Zoom. Let them get on their Xbox Live. And Rachel, you don't always have to watch what he wants. That's funny. Make them watch one of your old shows and be like, "All right, let's take turns. Ha, let's talk about this." You know, like I'm gonna. I watch. I am a Star Trek Next Generation junkie.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
I'm funny. I'm funny that way, right? And that's something that I shared with my son. You know, we watch it together, so you can also share stuff like that. Am I being
So
helpful?
I thought it was kind of interesting. I challenged my girls to. I'm like, okay, can you find something different on Netflix, right? Like not just the latest movies or whatever, which is fine. It's cool, but I'm like, maybe there's something else that's on there that you haven't seen before, and let's try something out. And of all things, my daughter finds the crime stories, right? And she starts watching the one about the OJ Simpson trial, right? And we have had all sorts of questions about history and pop culture and what did you think and I mean, I couldn't believe that we were having this whole conversation, which you're obviously not really going to talk about in an American history class because it's all pop culture, right? To your point. And I think it was so cool, right? Like she had all these conversations. We talked about the period and the characters from the whole scenario. But anyway, the best thing that came out of it was a feminist story, right? Because she actually understood how some of the pressures for the prosecutor happened, who was the only woman, right, in that group. So we had a whole conversation about, women's rights and all that kind of stuff that I don't think we probably would have had they been, in regular school and all that. So I think it was
Right.
definitely an
Right.
opportunity. And I've been getting texts about what about the one day at a time just came out, the new one and all that. And that's a great way to have a moment and work together and watch a new
Hmm.
show. So I think
Hmm.
the point of pop culture is really cool.
And also, stop asking them what's wrong and how they're feeling, and start doing things with them, right? Tell them, hey, we're all gonna play Uno at 3 o'clock. Hey, we're all gonna play Just Dance at 4 o'clock. Um, Allow the conversation to be organic rather than you going in there and being, attempting to be a psychotherapist and try to figure out what they're feeling, right?
Right.
Create moments in your day where that conversation can naturally happen. They you are their parent, and when they share things with you, um they're usually sharing, what bothers them most. So don't think that that's all they're thinking about. So the two big things, the two big things to think about at this time, the three big things to think about at this time is one, um please don't minimize the loss of their social life and the rituals that all of these kids, including the middle school kids, right? Like my little guy was going to perform newsies at school, right? So
Sorry, we're
hopefully,
charging my computer right now.
so that's a loss for him, right? All of us in all age groups are feeling a sense of grief of all of the things that we can't do. And again, honor it. Two, please, 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 please protect their social interactions and their social time. Please let them play Xbox Live with their friends. Please let them Zoom and FaceTime. And
So I
three,
actually had
for
that
you,
question. Is no, I had that question about the gaming. Is that, do we need to
yeah,
make time for that?
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially if they
Yeah.
game with friends, especially where that's where they meet. And I know a lot of them, like, meet up in the Facebook Live. They do that even when there wasn't, a shelter at home order, um
Right.
because that's the way that they can be social. That's the way that they can have that healthy social interaction. So please protect that. Now, here's what we know, but be fluid with this. I'm afraid to give you this information because I don't want to hurt the teens. However, we know that after 3 hours of video game play, there's a cognitive decline. So after 3 hours, there's really not like, within the 3 hours, there's a lot of stuff that the brain is doing in video games: problem solving, hand-eye coordination, like visual input. All like video games are not the devil, and nothing is, by the way. But after 3 hours, there is a cognitive decline, meaning that it's like it's no longer helping anything, right? So
Okay.
once everybody, I know that in Dade County, in Miami-Dade County, a lot of the schools are on spring break. I know that in other parts of the country that's not necessarily so, but once they get into the fluidity of school, and doing other things, please, when they're done with school, let them have FaceTime with their friends. Let them do the Xbox Live. Let them binge 100 or one day at a time, or leave them alone.
Right. Okay.
So again, say yes and be mindful that their feelings are valid, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable because they're pouting while you're eating. Two, protect their social interaction. And three, find ways to speak while doing something else, while
Okay.
making cookies, while eating dinner, while playing Just Dance, while aquí en
Well,
my
like
aunt,
Michelle was saying that
while,
at 5 o'clock she's taking a walk, where she's doing a family walk. I've
I
been trying to get mine out. Some they resist. The last 2 days they've resisted. They're like, no, that's not what we want to do. And I'm like, fine, okay, I'm gonna go. And we gave each other space anyway, right? Because we, mom and dad went for the walk, and they did their own thing. This morning they got up at 8 and they did their own exercise. So you know what? As long as you did something, it's fine.
Right. And you can say to them, hey, listen, being outside in the sunshine is healthy for you. Those, being so tell them, I expect you, 4 out of the 7 days to do something outside. Right. So
Okay.
that's that whole idea of, with a teenager, we have to set scaffolding, right? We tell them the what we expect, but we allow them to figure out how to do it. Like, if you're on top of them, this is the time that you have to go outside. No, knock it off, guys. That's why I'm like, you tell them these are the things that are expected, right? So again, with my little guy, right? He's 11. He's not officially a teen yet. I'm June. He'll be a teen. I
Right.
told him every day, you can watch TV, you can play video games, you have to play the guitar, and you have to go outside every day. When you do it is none of my business.
Okay.
So say that, and then when they're like, all of you guys start talking to that, let it go.
Okay.
This,
Which is hard for parents. Let it go.
let that go, right? And then just say, hey, remember, there's the 5 things that we're doing today, or a new thing that I've never done before in my home. It just kind of happened now with the shelter at home time, right? Is don't leave a plate in the sink. That's the one thing that we're telling everyone, right? It's just kind of like, so if the dish rack is full and your plate is dirty, everybody has to do their part, and eventually each one of us would have washed a dish and put away a dish. So that's kind
Right.
of like a scaffolding that I've set up that is different than in normal time. And I know that the normalcy of school, because like in these last 10 days, the schools had to like hurry up and make this happen, make homeschooling happen for a lot of kids, both in the public school system and the private schools all over the country. So, please give your schools time to make sense of that for themselves. But once they have that pattern, is going to be easier for them.
Okay. The last thing I was going to have you touch on, so we wrap up, is with the maybe slightly younger ones and the no, right? Well, the questions of can so and so come over but they're not sick, can so and so come over but they're not sick, can we meet at the park but they're not sick, so that they're telling you those people aren't sick, can we meet with them? So the saying no so that you're not the full on ogre isn't the funnest thing, or it's fine to be the ogre at this juncture. So I think that everyone has that. How are we dealing with the no situation on our hands?
Right. So, I say this a lot in my when I do parent workshops around the city. And your goal as a parent can never be that they are happy.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Happiness, your children's happiness is not your goal, right? Happiness is up to the child, the human
Okay.
being, right? We help ourselves be happy. Oh, Nicole is on. She's going to ask me a hard question. I just saw that. Oh my God. Okay, I'll get to you, Nicole. Give me a minute. And our goal as parents is to keep our children in all ages healthy and safe, right? It's
Okay.
my responsibility to keep you healthy and safe. Healthy emotionally and healthy physically, safe emotionally and safe physically. So when they say to you, but fulanita de tal isn't sick and we've been out of school for 14 days and that's what the CDC has said,
Right.
you can say, I keep you healthy and safe. And did fulanita de tal's parent go to Publix? They've been exposed. We have to think about the hands.
Exacto.
Also, Everybody, I have a new crush. I'm sorry to my husband. His name is Dr. Tim Leahy, Timlahehy. He is a infectious disease doctor. His Twitter handle, he's not paying me to do this. I am just enamored by him, is Tim Leahy MD, Timlaheymd on
You're so
Twitter.
fun.
Do not read any other Twitter feed except for his. And he did an amazing Facebook Live with his wife, who I love already. Her name is Jessica Leahy, and she wrote a book, The Gifts of Failure, which all of
Oh,
you
that's
must
right.
read. And he show your teens the information, not to scare them, to just say, here, watch this. Now, the Tim Leahy information is for high school and up. Younger, it's a little much. uh, but there's a lot of videos out there right now.
Right.
I on our Twitter account, Twitter for us is not stop, it's parenting relief. I just posted like a little tiny like comic. So give them information whenever you tell them no. It's not just no because I said so. It's
Right.
no because this and this and this and this. But yes, I'm sorry. Be the ogre. Sometimes we have to do that with our teens. Let me go to Nicole's question.
Yeah.
Hi, ladies. My only attempt at a rule is to exercise 1 time per day. Good for her. My middle schooler has really taken to it. Mom, I've been staring at this iPad for 30 minutes. I'm going to go run first. I was so proud. Oh, yay! So cool. So, and good. So, yes, social loss is real. And thank you, Nicole. You didn't ask me a hard question. I was scared. So remember, no matter what age your child is, we keep them healthy and safe physically and emotionally. That's our job. And when we do that, we make them angry, frustrated, and disappointed sometimes. And your no has to come with a explanation.
Okay.
And right now, Tim Leahy is your guy. I love him. Love
Exactly.
him. He's like he's fun like me. He talks about infectious diseases and it's like I was like, "Oh, I can listen to you for 54
Super
minutes."
fun.
Yeah.
I do like Fauci, but okay, we'll go with Leahy right now.
No, no. Much better.
Much better. I did see it. It was more fun. So, alrighty. So, with that, I'm going to let you summarize real quick our video that we're going to be sharing. This is we wanted to questions. So I'm gonna let you summarize that for 1 minute, and then we're gonna drop a keep sending us your questions. And we also have a new Los Tweens and Teens guiding parenting on Gen Z. And so it's a private. Send us a note to let you in, and there we get to ask all sorts of questions as well. So Lina, tell us about your video, and then we're gonna prelude our second chat that's coming next week.
So we are going to be doing a private Zoom meeting, me with 4 to 8 teenagers, and I'm going to ask them, "Hey, what's driving you crazy that your parents are doing?" And the purpose of that is so that you hear the truth, and also so that you hear me and how I speak to teens, and so that you can hear it, so you can model how to speak to them in a way that they will speak to you. So of course they're going to speak to me more because I'm an adult mentor. However, I want everybody to watch that video, kind of learning about how to communicate with them in a respectful way without talking down to them and talking with them. A
Right.
lot of us talk down to our teens because we get frustrated.
Right. Yeah, we've made that really big distinction in my house over the last year, and it's really helped because at the end of the day, we're like, you know what? You are adults. You are turning to adults, and if you don't want the world to talk to you that way, we're going to have to learn to communicate better. So it's a shift in the parenting thought, and it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it
Mm-hmm.
changes how they see you and what's coming at them once you shift and talk to them more like an adult. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so with that, we are gonna let you guys go. I'm glad we finally got to get together and do this. So stay tuned for more news for next week with a super cool video that Lina is gonna work on. We're gonna be sharing that. To find Lina, it's Stop Parenting Alone, and they have a private parent group as well. And for Los Tweens and Teens, we have our new Guiding Parenting Gen Z private Facebook group. So lots of resources coming. Send us your questions. Don't get frustrated. We're here to help get us all through this. So we'll talk soon. Ciao. Bye, Lina. I miss you.
Bye.